What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Weekly Pulls. Like, subscribe, share, and comment. As you know, I haven't made a video in a while. It's taken me a while, and I'm ready to do this. For those of you that don't know, my father passed away from complications due to COVID-19 a couple weeks ago. It's been really hard. I really wanted to make this video to just highlight my father and how he got me into comics. None of this would be here without my dad. He's the one that encouraged me to make this YouTube channel, make the podcast, start the social media. He knew how much I loved this, and he really pushed me always to do my best. So none of this would be here without my dad. I definitely wouldn't have gotten into comics if it wasn't for my dad. Stay tuned to the end of the video. I have a really big announcement. For those of you that don't know, I was permanently banned from Twitter. The day my father passed away, later that night, I announced it on my Twitter account. And the next morning I woke up to this really ugly response. I'll let you guys read it. Being the day after my father had died, reading that, I was very upset and emotional. And I responded inappropriately, and I got banned. I was really mad about this at first. But if you're going to play the game, you got to play by the rules. And ultimately, I broke them. And if there's anything my dad always said, if you're going to do something, you better be ready to live with the consequences. So that's where I'm at with Twitter. So the year is 2000. My dad takes me to my very first movie theater experience, being the first X-Men movie. And it was amazing. We got the big bucket of popcorn and the giant soda and a bunch of candy. One of the best days of my life. And little to my knowledge, when we got home from the movie theater, he handed me this. They gave out free comics. They actually gave us 2 copies, so my dad sat on the couch and I sat on the floor, and we both read it at the same time. It was awesome. This isn't the actual cover to it. The actual cover fell off. It was basically a Toys R Us ad. But yeah, I kept it all these years. It's over 20 years old. This was my first comic book, and I got it from my dad. That same year, Marvel started to push out this new toy line where you got these really cool, amazing posable action figures, and they came with a comic book. For my birthday that year, my dad got me the one that had a symbiote suit Spider-Man, came with issue number 252, the first appearance of Spider-Man with the alien costume outside of Secret Wars. This was my first Spider-Man comic, and it got the ball rolling for everything. Later on, maybe that Christmas and Easter, I don't remember the exact times, but I begged for the rest of the action figures in that line. I ended up with 2 more. Got me the Daredevil. I'm not really sure what to call this. We'll just call him Battle-Worn Spider-Man, but he got me this one, and it came with Spider-Man, the action figure. He's all beat up. This is issue number 5 of the story arc Torment from Todd McFarlane's first Spider-Man run. I mean, my dad really gave me some really big, iconic books here, and I don't even know if he knew that. And it's really cool to go back and look and reminisce about all of this and how I've gotten to where I am now. Growing up in a small town, we never had a true local comic shop, but there were 2 occasions where we would have these people open up these random kiosks in the local mall to sell comics. And the first time we ever went to one, it happened to be Free Comic Book Day, and they were having a special where all of the back issues were only $1. And for every couple, maybe 3 or 4 issues you would buy, you got a free comic. So my dad loaded me up. I think he probably bought anywhere between 20 to 30 comics. But I mean, he got me some amazing issues of Spider-Man here. I mean, I was in heaven. He got me these Scarlet Spiders. This is where I fell in love with Ben Reilly, and I started to think about the Clone Saga, and I was like, what's that, you know? And that suit's really cool. Still have all of the free comics. We got Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, Star Wars back when they were still being published by Dark Horse. My first Archie comic. This one was the one I was the most excited about, Teen Titans, because this is when the show was in its prime, and it was exciting, and it was sick. Second trip me and my dad ever made together to that kiosk, he got me this issue of Daredevil. It's issue number 1 of the 5-issue series called Father. I love this comic. I actually sat down and reread it before making this video. This is the one that definitely got me into Daredevil from the beginning. I mean, he really gave me the keys to the car and said, here you go. Then later on down the road, I was probably 15, 16, and we were going through my dad's old art supplies and his tattoo stuff, and he found these old issues of X-Men, issue number 72 of X-Men Classic, and issue number 81 of X-Factor. X-Men was my dad's favorite. Wolverine was his favorite. One year for Christmas, I got him a Wolverine Snuggie, and he thought it was the greatest thing in the world. And then aside from the comics, my dad was an artist. I have 4 tattoos. He put all of those on me. He made this shirt. This was his shirt. He designed this, and he had a whole website. He actually had more than one website. He loved to create things. He really was the coolest dad in the world, and I miss him a lot, and I'll miss him for the rest of my life. As I said, this YouTube channel and all of this, the weekly pulls, was originally my dad's idea. I ran with it, and he was so excited, and he always said, you can do really big things with this, just keep pushing, you can do it. Since I got banned from Twitter, I've just been thinking, how can I do this again but make it better? What can be better? And me and my friends, Tevin, Ricky, Fat Thor, aka TJ, and my buddy Hudson, aka at My Comic Thoughts, we have been working day in and day out to bring you theweeklypulls.com. That's right. I started a website. My dad said I should just start my own website and do it my way, the whole way. And this is what we're going to do. I want the Weekly Pulls website to be the Super Bowl for comics. I want you to come here for your indie comics. We're gonna post Kickstarters, any and every Kickstarter. I want it to be the indie comics news outlet on top of news from the bigger side like Marvel and DC, Image, Vault, Aftershock, Scout. The list goes on from publishers, but I want the Weekly Pulls to become the source for comic book news. It's what we're reading, what's coming out, what are we anticipating. Somewhere for new readers, old readers, whoever to just come check out everything there is to do with comics. I'm hoping to launch this on Monday. That's the big announcement. We're gonna do this, I'm gonna go all the way in. Thank you so much for watching this video. Everybody, anyone who has reached out with your kind words about my father, thank you. It has been really hard, but we're gonna get through it. Stay cool, homies. We'll see you next time.